Hello, everyone. Um, Instead of setting up a whole camera and doing the whole big setup for a YouTube video, it's gonna be more, I'm filming on my phone. Low quality, I know. Maddie wants to be in the video. Basically, I'm not gonna do the whole put makeup on my face, like get dressed, set up a camera, do the whole thing. Just because this is such a um this is such a personal and laid back type of video. I'm basically just going to be talking about what is going on because I feel like I need to talk about this. I haven't vocalized it at all, really. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm trying to think of a setup that I can do so that I'm not just like holding it the whole time, because this is probably going to be like a long video. Also, disclaimer, it's going to be a long video because I could go on about this for hours, but I'm going to try to shorten it down as much as possible. My voice is going to get shaky during this because that's just what happens when I talk about this kind of stuff. Okay, so I just propped this up on like I found like a cardboard box, so I just kind of propped it up on there. Alright, I just want to get started because I just want to just talk about this and have it be done, and I want to get this up because this is currently happening. I don't want to post this a week later when it's not a thing anymore. I don't even know if that's gonna happen, but yeah. Maddie's right here. You can't see her because I don't want to. Hi, Bo. She's very camera shy. Like, Hi, Maddie. Oh, okay, yeah, so Maddie's here for moral support. Ollie's back there sleeping because he doesn't care. Okay, focus. Alright, so basically what I am going to be discussing, talking about, giving my opinion on is, I can't believe I'm like making this video in the first place. Okay. I'm gonna be talking about depression and anxiety and mental health issues in general, because it is a very important topic. It is something that I personally deal with. It is something that I am not passionate, I don't know what the right word is. I could go on about it for hours. I don't want to say passionate because it's such a like opposite word to use for it because it's such a negative subject. But yeah, if you don't feel comfortable watching this video, please just exit now. Like, just okay, so basically, let me start with my kind of story, my background on the whole situation. Anxiety was the first thing that I experienced with mental health issues. I dealt with anxiety from, I want to say sophomore year of high school up until I graduated. My anxiety kind of slowed down once I was out of high school. High school was a huge impact on my anxiety, and it was a huge negative impact, and I would be lying if I say I did not despise high school, like actually despised it. I just couldn't, it just wasn't for me. School was never a strong point for me, so high school being like the most important school time period in your life only stressed me out even more and made me more anxious. And just the way my brain works, I can't sit down and do homework for hours on end. I'm not that type of person that'll sit down and just be like, okay, I'm gonna write an essay, I'm gonna do like 3 other assignments for all of my other classes, and I'm gonna sit here for a straight 2 to 3 hours and just focus on my homework. I can't do that. My brain literally does not let me do that. So it's hard for some people to wrap their heads around that and like understand that I can't do that no matter how hard I try. I have tried so many different methods, you guys. Like, I'm not even joking. I've tried every method in the book to get my work done, and I just can't. Like, no matter what, I just don't have the motivation. That's another huge point of this story, is lack of motivation in my personal case. So, yeah, that was my anxiety. My anxiety basically just stopped me from going to school a lot of the times. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to go to school and deal, especially because I couldn't do my homework. Like, going into school, knowing that you have an assignment due, especially if it's a big assignment due, is the scariest thing to me. It was the scariest thing to me to go into school not having done that assignment, and knowing that it was due, knowing that the teacher was gonna collect it, the teacher was gonna go over it, whatever the situation was. That, like, even talking about it right now, I'm like short of breath, and you can probably tell, but like, it got me very amped up, and in the morning I would feel sick. My sickness, like my stomach, I would feel like I was gonna throw up because I was so anxious. I was so nervous to go into school and not have done my work. So it would physically, my mind and my mental health would physically stop me from going to school, because it would physically affect my body. I would feel sick, I would feel nauseous, and I would feel like I can't go into school. If I was in school and I didn't do my assignment but I still went, I would feel sick, and then I would go to the nurse. That was my junior year. A lot of my junior year was spent in the nurse's office and going home because I felt sick because of my anxiety. It's so difficult for some people to wrap their minds around that, and I understand that, because if you don't personally deal with it or know someone closely who goes through it, it's a weird concept to wrap your head around, because it's like, why doesn't your brain just like work normally? Or why can't you just get it done just to get it done because you know you have to? It's not, I don't know, it's just not like that easy at all. And for someone that goes through that, that's like the worst thing to hear, is like, why can't you just get it done because you know you have to get it done? For me, school, like hearing that because of school was mostly negatively impacting me. So that was like a negative thing for some people to say, just because it was like, well, in my head, I know what's going through my own head. I know what I can and cannot do, and what I am and am not comfortable with. So when people say that, it just makes me feel worse about myself, because it feels like I'm lesser than whoever is telling me that. Like, it feels like oh God. I just need to breathe for a second. I'm gonna stop this clip and I'm gonna come back in a sec. Basically what I was saying is, it just makes you feel like you're less than the person telling you that. It makes you feel more worthless than you already feel. That's basically it. It does not help when people say that. And I had a couple friends in my past who would judge me for how I felt, judge me on how my brain worked, judge me on my judgments in themselves, and that didn't help at all. I don't know if they thought they were helping, but it was not helping at all. It was just making it a lot worse, and I think that's why it didn't go away. Like, I wasn't getting the help that I needed. But my friends weren't helping me because, some of my friends, I appreciate them so much, because even though some of them don't understand it fully because they don't personally deal with it, they were still there, and they were understanding as much as they could be, and they were trying to help as much as they could, because they just didn't want to see me go through that. I was such a negative person in high school. I was never... I'm surprised I had friends, honestly. Like, I was awful. I was so negative. If I wasn't sad, I was angry. Like, if I wasn't upset in school, I was just angry, and I didn't want to talk to anyone. I would give everyone attitudes, or I would be fake happy, and I would just be like, I would have this fake smile on all day. and then I would come home and have a mental breakdown. Like that's literally how pretty much every day went. I'm not even exaggerating. That's pretty much how every day of my high school career went. Graduation came along, and oh my god, it was literally the best day of my entire life. I'm not even exaggerating. I can't think of a better day than graduation in my life. Graduation was the happiest I have ever been. I was happy from when I woke up that morning until I went to sleep. And I did not have like a single sad moment that entire day, which was a huge, huge milestone and important day for me because I wasn't sad for a minute. It was just straight happiness. I was so excited to get out of high school because it was not fun for me at all. Yeah, so graduation, happiest day. Yeah. I was very, very, very excited to start summer, but more importantly and bigger, to start college. This is where it turns from anxiety into depression. I am not scared anymore to say that I have dealt with both of these, anxiety and depression, within the past year of my life. Even before that, but mostly throughout the past year. It's a big and scary transition. So everyone was kind of like in this funk over the summer, so none of us really hung out a lot. Because we were just busy like preparing for college. So when I went to college, it was weird. I felt like I was at like a summer camp, like, or like a week-long like camp thing, because the first weekend we just did like activities, and they were like icebreaker activities, which were awful. I hate icebreaker activities literally more than anything. That's like an anxiety trigger for me because you're sitting in a circle staring at each other, and some instructor is like, okay, now what is your favorite color? Like, it seemed so childish to be doing. Like, we're in college, like, why? I just hate icebreakers. I hate icebreaker activities. So we did that. So I felt that was like for the first 3 days of college. That's all we did, and I was like, this feels like I'm at like a camp, like I'm sleeping in the same room with my friend, and it basically just felt like a camp, and it was weird. And orientation itself, like over the summer, was terrifying for me because I just didn't want to do it. I knew, this is the thing, I knew that I hated school. I've known that my entire life. It is never going to change. It has never changed. Not even during like a semester at school have I liked school. It's not a thing with me. I don't like school. School is it's not for me, I feel. So college, I thought it was going to be a completely different experience because that's what everyone said, but college to me literally felt like high school. It honestly felt like I was living at high school because first, I have personal space issues. You share a communal bathroom with however many people are on your floor, with tiny ass stalls and tiny ass showers. So it's not even like you get your own personal space whatsoever, especially if you have a roommate. You never have your time to yourself. And if you don't have a car, because freshmen aren't allowed to have cars on campus. I'm a freshman. So it was like I never got that time that I really needed to just like have to myself. So that's what I thought the problem was with college, is that I just couldn't live there because I needed my personal space. I needed my home. Like, I needed to be at my house and have my own bathroom, have my own bed, just have my own space. And I didn't have that at school, so I thought that was the problem. So I was like, well, I don't want to live here anymore. This was in the first, like, I was only at school for maybe a month. I think it was literally probably a little less than a month. I forget. Um, I think it was around a month. That's the time that I lasted in a dorm. And so I begged my mom. I literally had to beg my mom and the school to start commuting to school. Because my school is only 40 minutes away, so it's not that awful to commute every day. But that was a huge issue with everyone. They were like, "No, you have to live here. No, you have to stay. No, you have to just stick it out because you're not even supposed to come home on the first 6 weeks." I came home every weekend. Like it I was not gonna stay at school. First of all, school was like completely dead on the weekend, so it's not like anything was going on in the first place. I would just hang out in my room. So I was like, I'm just gonna come home, like, and see my dogs. My dogs, I miss my dog. My dog is like Maddie, like she's my dog. Ollie is my mom's. Um, so yeah, it was just a homesick feeling, but then it was also the anxiety playing in with it. This is when my depression started. I need to like get to the point because I'm just rambling on. This is when the depression hit and I started to realize what it was because I wasn't anxious anymore. I wasn't like shaking. My heart wasn't racing. My mind wasn't like going all over the place. I was literally just sad. I was just sad all the time. I still am, but in past tense, I did not have a day where I didn't have a mental breakdown or I didn't feel like crying or I didn't feel like not going to class. It it sucks to say the least. It sucks to talk about, honestly. When I left school to become a commuter, I felt okay for the first like week. I was like, okay, like this is better, but I'm still not feeling okay. Like I'm still sad, I'm still angry, I'm still upset. Like all of these emotions, all of these negative emotions were filling every part of my body. And that's the most exhausting thing in the entire world. Yeah, it was an exhausting experience. It's not fun to deal with. And on top of that, a lot of other negative stuff was going on, personal wise and school wise. It was just, I was going through a lot and I felt like everything negative that was like karma or meant to happen to me happened all at once. Like it all just came on top of me all at once and I was very overwhelmed and I didn't know how to deal with it. So I still don't know how to deal with it. Right now I'm trying to figure out what I can do to stay in school but also get the help that I need because I also work. Like I have a job 5 days out of the week. So it's hard to make time to do everything that I need to. I need to go to school, I need to go to work. I've been doing those two and pushing off the personal aspect and the mental health aspect of my life. So I need to make time for that because if I don't, I don't know what's gonna happen. I want to explain what it's like or what exactly is a mental illness just because I know. Can this get it? There we go. Just because I know a lot of people don't really understand it. A lot of people can't wrap their head around it for whatever reason. Basically, it's what I've explained, but it can be in so many other situations where people deal with anxiety and deal with depression. Like, it doesn't have to be about school. It doesn't have to. People can actually have depression or anxiety and do extremely well in school because that's what their mind drives them to do. It drives them to be excelling in school. So that's what they do. But I wish I could do well in school. with my anxiety and depression in the way. But mine stops me. Like, it literally stops me from getting out of bed sometimes. I could get out of my bed, I could get ready, and then I would not be able to walk out the door. Like, it's a bunch of different scenarios where it negatively stops, it literally physically stops you from doing what you need to do, what you want to do, whatever. That's basically, like, I don't know how else to explain it to you guys. It's just, it's not something that people, this is so important. Like, if you're gonna listen to any part of this video, please listen to this, what I'm about to say. It is not mental illnesses, anxiety, depression, eating disorders, whatever it may be, is not something that people just make up in their head. It's not something that they can stop and turn around and flip back to being normal. It's literally a chemical imbalance in your head. Like, the positive side of your brain isn't functioning as well as it should be. It's depression. You're literally just sad and angry and upset all the time, basically. Like, you don't have a single, you might have like some good days, some good moments, some good times, but it's mostly, it's gonna take over your brain. And that's why people make medications for this, because the medications help the positive things in your brain go off so that the negative quiets down a little bit, because the negative is so much louder than the positive when you have a mental illness. That's what I don't get. What people say, like, just be happy, like, just go out, just do what you need to do. It's not easy at all. You have to physically actually force yourself to get up and go and do what you need to do, or go and do what you want to do. I don't know. It's so hard to talk about and to explain and to listen to if you're watching this. It's a hard topic to talk about and have a conversation about, even though I'm having a conversation with a camera right now, but that's all it is. It's a negative impact on your brain that stops you from doing everything that you want to do. I want to go to college, you guys. I want to be in class, and I want to graduate college, and I want to do the normal things that people do. Like, I want to have a life after college. But my brain currently is stopping me from doing that. I might fail out of college. I just said that out loud. I might fail out of college because I haven't gone to class. I haven't been able to drive 40 minutes to go to my classes because I feel like it's not worth it. I feel like if I do go to class, I'm just gonna fail anyways because I have been doing bad, because school is just not for me at all. And that's okay, and it's not okay at the same time. I'm gonna go on a small rant right now. I told you this video was gonna be long. So, society fucks me up. It fucks with my brain, because if you do not have a college degree, my mom told me this the other day. She told me that when she was in high school, I'm exactly like her, apparently. She hated school, she didn't go to college, blah, blah, blah. When she graduated high school, she could go out and get a job, and they wouldn't ask for a resume with a college degree printed on the resume. So getting a job back then was easier because you did not have to go to college if school was not for you. I cannot emphasize that enough. It is so unfair to people who school is just not for. They could be the greatest person in the entire world, they could be so smart, but school just isn't for them. And the fact that jobs look at a resume, and if you do not have a college degree on your resume, they're like, nope, I'm gonna hire the person that has a college degree. That person could be the fucking dumbest person in the world. They might have a college degree, but they could be stupid. And the person that you turned away because they don't have a college degree on their resume could be extremely smart. I'm not saying that I'm extremely smart, but they could be. And that's society. Like, if you do not have a college degree, you're not going anywhere in life. So you might as well just give up now. That's what my brain has been telling me for the past 2 months. Yeah. So, society fucks me up, you guys. I don't know how that's acceptable to do. I get that college is important. I completely understand that. College is important. But so is mental health. If you do not have good mental health and you do not feel good mentally or physically or whatever the case may be, then what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to torture yourself every day and go to school and be unhappy and not be getting the help that you need? Or are you supposed to go and get help, stop going to school, and be mentally okay again, but then not have a chance at a job in the future? What sense does that make? It literally doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I can't wrap my head around it. People can't wrap their head around mental illness. I can't wrap my head around society, to be perfectly honest with you. One of the last things I want to talk about is physical versus mental. If someone is physically sick, they will be looked at completely different than mental illnesses, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm trying to think of an example. Like, if you were diagnosed with a physical illness, I'm not going to get specific because I don't, like, really, physical illness isn't the point of this video. If you were diagnosed with a physical illness, people would make exceptions for you. A lot more people do make exceptions for mentally ill people, but not nearly as much as physically. Like, you could take a leave of absence from your job if you needed to go to physical therapy, if you needed to get that kind of help in any way, shape, or form. Mental illness, if you had to go to therapy however many times a week and you were unable to make it to class because you needed to go to therapy to get better for a mental illness, they would not give a shit. Physical versus mental is so twisted. If anything, they're the same. They are the same in how they impact you, how they physically, mentally, whatever, negatively impact you. They're the same. And it's, I don't know. I just think there's so many, like, misconceptions and so many things wrong with looking at mental illness. That's the reason I'm making this video, because I'm trying to get it out there. I don't care if you... I'm saying this in the nicest possible way. I do not care if you don't give a shit about my story or about mental illness conversations. But yeah. I don't know. This was just a video that I really wanted to do for a long time. I've wanted to make this video ever since September. It's now November. I just haven't had the energy to. I haven't had the energy to come and sit and talk in front of a camera about what I've been going through. But I feel like I've built up enough courage and strength to talk about my personal experiences. And I don't know, it's just... it sucks. I'm currently looking into an outpatient program, which is basically where you go to a designated hospital or center of some sort, and you go through a therapy process. Because as much, mom, if you're watching this, family, if you're watching this, as much as I would love to just push it away and act like it's not there and act like I am okay, I have said this throughout my entire high school career, and now I'm still saying it. My mental health new drinking game, take a drink every time I've said mental in this video. It's not a negative term, it's just the best term that I can give for it. Dealing with my mental health and improving it and making sure that I am okay is a million trillion times more important to me than school. School does not need to happen. I do not need to go to school. I can tell you that this is my negative side of my brain talking right now. I do not need to go to school if my mental health is off, if I am not feeling okay, if I am having, I don't want to say certain thoughts and things, but that's what it does. Sometimes you will have thoughts that you will be better off if you are just not here, if you would just leave, if you just weren't here. That's another scary thing that my brain can do, is tell me those thoughts, make me think that those are true when I know that they're not. I know that those thoughts are not true. But it does happen almost on a daily basis. That's a problem. That's a serious issue. And I don't think, especially my family, because they just don't want to believe it. They don't want me to be going through this, so they just want me to suck it up and move on. It's not going to happen like that. It's not just going to go away on its own, and I can't emphasize that enough. Me and my little sister are such opposites. We are complete opposites. She has always excelled in school. She's always cared about her grades. She's always gone out with her friends. She's always been social. She's always done all of these things, and I am the complete opposite. I have always hated school. I have never done my homework. I have never cared if I have done my homework. I'm surprised I didn't fail out of high school. I'm not the most social person. Like, I don't like to go out and be with a bunch of people, and I'm not a partier. I don't go out and party and do the whole high school and college thing, which is another big thing. Like, if you're not socially involved, you're just chilling at home, and that's where this can start going crazy. I just want to voice it. If you're someone that doesn't go through this, and you know someone that does, and you're trying to help and you're trying to push them, don't say these things, and I'm going to list them off right now. Just don't be supportive, or don't say anything at all. Like, please, it's so much better if you don't say anything than if you say something that's going to negatively affect them. My sister and my friends, my old friends, who I no longer talk to because of this, would say things like, you're not going to graduate high school because you refuse to go to school. You refuse to do your work. You're not gonna make it through college because you have this negative thing in your brain. You are not going to excel later in life, and I am, because I can go through school, I can do my homework, I can do all of these things that society makes us do in order to get a good job. All of those things will negatively impact the person, and it will put more weights on their shoulders than they already have. And trust me, there's a fucking lot of them. There's a lot of weight on someone who has to deal with this every single day of their life, 24/7. So if you are someone, just a piece of advice, because this video is coming to a close. If you are someone that knows someone who goes through anxiety or depression, please just be supportive, or don't say anything at all. I know that it's hard to deal with people with mental illnesses. I know that it's hard to be their friend or their family member, because it's like dealing with, I don't even know. It's like constantly dealing with just this negative energy in your life, but you can't really get rid of it because they're either your friend or your family member, so you can't get rid of them. That's what goes through my head. Like, they can't get rid of me, but they have to deal with me, and that's such a burden because I have this thing in my head. And so if you do know someone that goes through it, be supportive. Don't just try to push them. If you do not know if it's negatively going to impact them or positively impact them, don't say it. Don't take the chance, because your words might be the thing that pushes them over the edge, makes them have a mental breakdown. So just keep it to yourself, have a conversation with them, ask them questions on what makes them feel temporarily good. Ask them what you can do to help. Do not just assume that you're helping. Like, please, I cannot voice that enough. So yeah, that's my story with anxiety and depression. There might be like an update video soon in the next however long, whenever things change, but as of right now, things are the same. I'm still dealing with it every single day. The reason that I came on camera was because I was dealing with it, and it's not gonna change unless I get the help that I need. I can't keep just working and going to school and being this robot when I'm not mentally okay. If you are someone that goes through anxiety or depression or any other mental illness, I know I've been talking about those mostly, but any other mental illness, reach out for help, please. As scary as it is to talk to other people about what you're going through and how you're feeling, if you don't talk to anyone, it's just going to keep on going through your head, and it's just going to drive you more and more crazy. So you just need to get help, talk to someone, whether it's a family member, whether it's a school counselor, whether it's a therapist, whether it's a program. Like, someone does want to help you. No matter who it is, someone wants to help you. And if you happen to come across this video and you want to talk to someone who's gone through and is still going through it but can still offer advice, message me, like, on my I'm gonna link my social media in the down bar down there. But if you do come across this video and don't know who else to talk to, trust me, just message me. We can talk, we can have a whole conversation, or we can just do whatever. I don't know, it's just, I want people to see this video and just feel like they have that someone else that is going through it, because it's so easy to feel alone in this situation, and I don't want anyone else to feel like that. That's all. I hope this helped some people. I hope this opened some people's minds. I don't know if I'm gonna keep up making videos. This was kind of just like a low quality, just talk to the camera type thing. If you did like this video, please let me know, and I'll make an update on how I'm doing in the future. I did just need to voice this, so thank you if you watched the whole thing. Yeah, I don't know how to end this, but yeah. Oh, phone's dying. Okay. Thank you all for watching. If you did watch the whole thing, I appreciate it. I just needed to get that out, and I will talk to you very soon.